You are listening to chartingwealth.com for Thursday, the 30th of April, 2015. Let's look at what's going on in the market. IYY. This is the total market index fund. So it's showing us everything that's happening. You can see this is a 2-day chart, and this is what's happened over the last 2 days. We have seen our that's actually 6-day, 3 candle, because again, 2 days, 2 times 3, 6. Simple math. We can see that it has been broken. The trend line has been broken. We can see that the derivative oscillator is falling off, and also we are having a convergence between that blue line, don't get confused with the black line, that's a 50-period moving average, and the red line. Those are our 2 MACDs, and what we are seeing happen is we are seeing them move closer together, which of course means a convergence, and it appears to be a convergence moving toward moving down. Pretty substantial break from this nice clean up move in the market. Now let's look back to we're going to go to the 4-hour, the half-day chart. We had seen the half-day roll over. We saw the day end yesterday with this real doji, which that you can barely see it. It's very small. That is a cross right there. And what you see happening, whenever you see a cross like that, it means that there was so little movement in the afternoon. The bulls and the bears pretty much paired off and they weren't able to change anything. And what happened in the morning? Movement down. In the afternoon, movement down. Pretty significant, accelerating. Crossover going down, as we talked about yesterday afternoon. Actually, it started yesterday morning, and this is the way it ended up in the afternoon. The crossover occurred on the 28th and has gone ahead and pushed through on the 29th. Now, when we look at the charts here, you can see that we are moving out of our nice clean up and down movements. Look at that. Clean down movements, clean up movements, clean down, clean up. And then we get into this a few days down, and then up for a few days, and then down again. We're losing our MACD, giving us really good trading signals. Why? Well, because we're leaving the best 6 months of the year and we're going into the summer doldrums. We're getting close to May. Sell in May and go away. And what we're seeing and what we will see is probably some stagnation over the next few days going into May. That happens a lot, and the big money's leaving the market, and then things get sort of weird because you don't have a lot of volume. But what we see happening right now, crossover going down. Again, like we said, we don't see it confirmed on the 2-day chart as far as the MACD crossing, but it does appear headed that way. Now, let's shift over to the S&P and see what we see there. Very similar chart, crossing over. It is getting closer, I guess, again, on the MACD. We're getting more of a convergence and the derivative oscillator falling off. If we go out to the 4-hour chart, we see again a crossover back on the midday 28th, and we see continued down movement, breaking through almost breaking through, not quite, the 2-day trend line. That's where we see things on the SPY, the Standard & Poor's 500. And let's go out to the 2-day chart first. This is the Qs, the Nasdaq 100. We can see it trying to break over. Again, didn't close the day breaking over. Had 3 beautiful candles moving up, converging a little bit. Derivative oscillator falling off, still quite high. And then if we range out on that to the 4-hour chart, we can see we don't have a crossover yet. We don't have a cross of the 2-day trend line. We do have a crossover going down on the 4-hour chart. And again, we can see where it started getting squishy right in here. Again, nice clean moves prior to this. Again, the 4-hour chart has been a good chart over the last many months for the Qs, but again, we're getting in that crazy time of year where we can't trust our MACD to the extent that we had in the past. But this is telling you on the 4-hour chart that we do have a crossover going down, and it does appear on the 2-day chart. as you can see that we are seeing that getting close to cracking through our 2-day trend line, and we have the derivative oscillator slacking up on us, and we have more of a convergence starting to happen, but again, not happened on the big chart yet. No definite signal there. Now let's go out to gold and see what gold has done. Isn't gold interesting? It crossed over going up back on the 25th. It has continued to move up for a while. Then we got into these doldrums, and look at this. Even today, we had sort of a trend line, not much of one, but look at what gold has done. It never crossed over on the 2-day chart going down. It's trying its best to get a little momentum and go up, but you can tell it has hardly gotten out of the range of the candle back on the 6th. Never gotten higher than that, and gotten just a little bit lower than that. And again, that high topped off right at 117, and the low there was around 114.50 or so. So it ended the day at 115.81. Guess we'll just have to continue to see how gold tracks. Now, again, you can tell it has not been able to push above that 50-period moving average line on a 2-day chart. That's a 100-day average. It's trying to break through right now. Let's see if it does. This could continue to provide some resistance, but if it breaks through it, going up, and particularly gets above this green candle over here, that might tell us some more. Now let's look at what we see. Interesting. We see on the 4-hour chart, we see movement up, breaking through a couple of days ago the 2-day trend line, and we then see what happened over the course of today. We've got red candles all within the range of the green candle that ended yesterday. So that energy may be starting to taper off. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. But again, as far as the long trend goes, the big trend on the 2-day chart, gold is still cautiously in an up move. So let's continue to watch that. Thanks again so much for watching, for paying attention, for listening. Those of you who are listening via audio, don't forget, if you are listening on audio, you can always, if you want to see anything that we're talking about, you can go to chartingwealth.com and see the video. You can also see our videos posted on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks so much. Again, chartingwealth.com. Wish you the best in trading. God bless. Take care and good trading.